What's up, my royal people? This is DL Giron here at BBV TV, Black Brothers View TV. And listen, today we got the kings and the queens of BBV TV coming together to talk about relationships. Things we like, things we don't like. Listen, this is something you don't want to miss. So all I gotta say to you is, watch this.
Sir, we're dating in 2021. Have you not? They are out there. That's what they do. If we disagree to disagree. Like my girlfriends, when we disagree about something, we talk. Nobody's getting all hot-headed. And I feel I want to be like that with a man, you know?
Mm-hmm. Your approach can even be condescending. It's not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of you and your lack of emotional stability.
Where they can put those subject and verbs together really good. Yes, that's a lifestyle.
Right.
BBV on your TV, Black Brothers View with GLG.
Welcome to BBV TV, Black Brothers View. This is your host, DL Giron, but I can't do it by myself. I got my co-host here with me, Ficklin in Columbia, South Carolina. And on set, we have some queens here. Now, some of the brothers are not here today, but you will be hearing a reaction from them regarding this broadcast, and I'm looking forward to that. Today, we're doing it a little differently because we have the queens with us today. We have Sister Elisa. Say hey to the people.
Hey.
Hey. We have Sister Jason in here.
Hello.
And then none other than the queen herself, Aquisha, right over here.
Hello.
But we have all of the queens, and of course we got Shabak on post as well. Listen, in our society, in our community at large, everything that we deal with, it all starts with relationships. It starts with people coming together in a relationship, and from that relationship, they form families, and those families make up the community. And a lot of ills that have taken place in our community has been because some ills have taken place first in the families, but more so first in relationships. What we're hoping to do throughout the rest of this season is have the queens a part of the conversation. As we talk about relationships, we talk about family, we talk about the community, but we look at it from the aspect of not coming together to combat, but to how can we come together and impact others with our experiences. I tell people many times Oprah would get together with Dr. Oz and Ayana and all the other good people, and I'm saying Dr. Field, all of them, to share their expertise, share their experiences, to empower and help other people. Well, I'm connected to people who have stories, who have experiences. And so y'all are the Dr. Fields and Dr. Oz and all of the day, whatever, you know, on the what you call it, the everyday level that everybody can relate to. And so I'm thanking you all for being here and being able and being willing to share, as well as I'm thanking you all for tuning in and giving us your time and allowing us to hopefully pour into your life and bring some light from our experiences. So first of all, we're starting off with group therapy. The way group therapy is going, we're going to be doing some filling in the blanks, all right? So I'm about to turn it over to Ficklin, and he's going to lead us in that. And in the comment box, whenever you see this, I want you to comment and fill in the blank too. Put yours in there. All right, here we go.
So thank you so much for that, Gideon. So the first group therapy activity we will have is a fill in the blank. So I will give the question and the fill in the blank, and then I will give my portion to that, and then I will call on the assistants, if you would, to give us their responses. So to start is, I think less of the opposite sex when they blank, but I'm intrigued by them when they blank. And so I will start. I think less of the opposite sex when they use vulgar language, but I'm intrigued by them when they are educated and well-spoken. All right. So I'll give it again. I think less of the opposite sex when they blank, but I'm intrigued by them when they blank. So we'll first go to Aquisha. Aquisha, fill in the blank for us. I think less of the opposite sex when they
are manipulative.
Okay, but I'm intrigued by them when they
are vulnerable.
Okay, all right, manipulative and vulnerable. Okay, so now we're going to go to Elisa. Elisa, I think less, or you think less, opposite sex when they blank.
Wear their pants below their waist.
But you're intrigued by them when they
are well-groomed.
Are well-groomed. Okay, pants below the waist, intrigued by well-groomed. Okay, so Miss Jasmine, I think less of the opposite sex when they.
Jasmine is my sister.
Jacelyn.
I'm Jacelyn.
Oops.
Yes.
Yes. Jacelyn. Jacelyn.
Jacelyn. Yes.
Jacelyn.
Yes.
You think less of the opposite sex when they
don't brush their teeth.
Oh my God.
But you're intrigued by them when they
have amazing hygiene.
Don't brush their teeth and have amazing hygiene. Awesome. Though I said the sisters, I'm going to give it to Gidron to fill in the blank here. Gidron thinks less of the opposite sex when they.
So you actually took mine, but I'm going to fill it in with another one. Then my first one, when they are disrespectfully loud.
But you're intrigued by them when they.
Just the essence of a lady. Just smell good, look good, gentle. I'm gonna say gentleness. Yeah, I got something.
But they're unnecessarily loud, and you're intrigued by their gentleness.
Gentleness, yeah.
Okay.
I was throwing it out. I wasn't ready to receive it, but hey, here we go.
All right, everyone. Well, that is our first group therapy activity. We thank you for sharing with us about what less attracts you, but then also what you're intrigued by. Gidron?
So the second part to this is now inform us as to why you shared the way you did, why you are less impressed and why you are intrigued. And so, Jacelyn, can you elaborate on your answers, please?
Well, I elaborated on personal hygiene because personal hygiene is a reflection of you from the inside out. The way that you view yourself, the way that you present yourself is just not simply the clothes that you put on. It's how you present yourself for the day. You know, are you prepared? Are you waking up? Are you bathing? Are you washing the night away and preparing for the new day? What are you presenting? And personal hygiene is a personal thing because it requires integrity to do it. No one's looking at you to ensure that you're taking a bath. It's a decision between you and yourself and wanting to reflect your best self. So that's mine.
So that was a well-reformed answer. So is there a person that kissed you with some stank breaths and she said,
call the police? Yes.
So there's a person.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely, I just smelled it and I couldn't think. But I will say,
was it before or after you kissed them?
Like, did you kiss? Like,
I
did you
didn't
go through
kiss
with
them.
the kiss?
I didn't go through with the kiss. I couldn't go through with the kiss. And I, gently said, did you just eat something? just to inquire or to just nudge that, hey, it is 9:00 in the morning. Why?
Wow.
This
that's
is
just
not
too early.
This is just too early for this level of disrespect. I can't think or breathe.
Garlic grits.
Oh my.
I can't.
Garlic.
Okay.
So I do have a question on that.
Yes.
Was this your first introduction with them, or was your first time meeting them?
Interesting enough, you said that. It was a morning date. It was a morning date. And I was meeting him prior to meeting with my first client of the day. And so, that was the only time that I could make this arrangement, and it wouldn't impede upon my schedule as a full-time mom and entrepreneur. So breakfast was ideal. And as I mentioned, we were getting to know each other, but I was offended. It was too early for the disrespect.
Oh, baby!
So
Did you give him another
what?
Interesting enough, we have had other conversations, and we have mutual friends. So we've seen each other, but you just know when it's just not a good fit. And it's not that, it's just the breath, but when you see them frequently and you kind of find that it's more of a part of who they are, and not just an isolated incident. It's just like, okay,
yeah,
I'm good on that.
So a follow-up question to that
Okay.
is, that's what made you less attracted or intrigued. But being that this was your first introduction with this person, what intrigued you so much that you were interested on that first encounter of giving him a kiss?
Oh, honey, we didn't get to the kiss. But as I mentioned, we had mutual friends, so we were acquainted. It wasn't like he was someone who I didn't know. We knew each other, but
okay.
But on a more intimate level, we had not been intimate. We didn't get to know each other more intimately.
Understood.
And he was pursuing me, in a different way.
Right.
And I'm open to having conversations with anyone,
with the right breath,
but with the right hygiene, with the right presentation, because it's everything. If that leads before your hello, I'm concerned.
Okay, so we don't want that one brother to make it, to like some of other brothers. So you're intrigued when the hygienes are there.
Well,
good hygiene. Right?
Absolutely. When there is a passion for, presenting your best self.
Right.
I love that.
Right. So have you had that experience with anyone?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. That's good. I know she told me the other day that I had some nice smelling cologne.
Yes.
Or whatever. So
King.
So I'm one representation that not the way to
Absolutely.
Listen, today I was like, oh, I gotta put my on. It's like, no, seriously, when people make mention of it, and if you're gonna be around them, but going back to what you said, if that's something that you value, then it'll come to your mind to do it. It won't if it's not something, that you normally do, and especially if you're doing it for somebody. Okay, so Elisa.
Yes.
You are, you said that you, what were your answers?
I think less of, or when their pants are sagging.
When the pants below their waist.
They have to walk like they're trying to hold them up.
Okay, so how have you, what experience do you have that just irk you about that, just when you see it in general?
When I see it in general, because when they wear them like that, they're having to walk a certain way to keep them up. And it just, that just does something to me.
Okay. All
right. You've seen it. Has anyone approached you?
No.
Their pants sagging.
Okay. So you didn't see no plumbers kind of stuff.
All right now. All right.
Okay now. Okay. So now you are intrigued when? By what?
When a man is well groomed.
Well groomed.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice haircut, or if he's bald, tapered, all this. Yes.
Okay.
Like that.
And so now.
You real intrigued over there.
No, I see this. She had a vision.
Yeah, she had a flashback, so you ain't got to ask. Have she experienced it?
I was going to ask her how long ago was it? And then she said, yes, Jesus. We're going to move on from here. Akusha, elaborate on yours.
I said, what were the words? Less intrigued by a guy that's manipulative, because when you try to manipulate me, it makes me feel like you think I'm stupid. And I don't appreciate you trying to manipulate me, because the truth of the matter is you can get further with me with the truth than you can with a lie.
Right. And I've seen that with you as well. Just dealing with people.
Yeah,
I've seen that about you. So that's good.
Yeah.
Good. And but have you had that? Is somebody coming to your mind?
yes, sir. Sir, we're dating in 2021. Have you not?
Okay.
They are out there. That's what they do.
Okay.
But
And-
yeah.
All right. You've seen some, but you've also seen the other side as
Oh,
well.
of course. It's
Okay,
not
that's
all.
good.
I'm
Right,
just saying
right.
the
But
way,
that's-
and I understand, I'm speaking about men because I am a woman
Right.
who's attracted to
And
men.
that's what we're doing, right?
But in the world, men and women nowadays are both
Right.
in the game of manipulation.
Exactly. Right.
So I'm
right.
not putting it to just men.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah,
And you are intrigued by men
when they're vulnerable.
And why is that?
Because when a man is vulnerable, that's when you can truly start to build something together. As long as someone has a guard up or that they're not being them true selves, you and that person are not actually building a bond.
So I heard something recently on a podcast where they were saying, as much as women say that they want emotional men, that they really want a man who's going to be strong or does not show that side of it.
But I think that's the mistake that is made. To be vulnerable is not weak.
That's right. True.
A man can be vulnerable and be emotional and still have the presence and the essence of what a man is.
Right.
So when I say vulnerable, I don't mean I said close the door and you cry. I mean, we have a moment and I do something that you didn't necessarily like, and you're able to express to me that it was something, I did something or contributed to the issue, and explain to me why it affected you in that manner. So that is the vulnerability that I mean. Whereas a lot of people nowadays, they just would rather just throw away. They get mad or they get offended by someone and they just walk away. No conversations had.
Right.
So maturity.
Yes.
Show emotion.
But in vulnerability, like it's a maturity within invulnerability.
Right.
Because a lot of people you look at they shy away from the word vulnerable because they look at it as being something weak or something demeaning. And the truth is, to be vulnerable is a strength. To be able to live out in the world as just your authentic self. Because when you're being vulnerable, there's nothing that you have to worry about. There's no guard, no shield you got to worry about keeping. There's no, you're unprotected and you're still pushing through. So to be vulnerable is actually stronger than it is to be guarded, because you're putting yourself in a position to where you can get hurt or to where you can be harmed. But you're like, I'm okay with that chance, because the other side of it is that some good may come out of it.
Right. But it also shows you that they trust you because they know they can get hurt being vulnerable. But if they're vulnerable with you, that means they trust you enough with their emotions.
Yeah, that I feel like for me, this year I said I want to get to a place of where my vulnerability is not dependent upon those around me. I don't want me to feel like I have to hide who I am or protect myself or my feelings because of how someone else may react. When someone else does something, whatever they have to do to correct their behavior or deal with what they got going on is on them. All I can do is respond. So when I can't get to being my best self, if I'm living according to those around me, I have to live for me.
Right, that's good.
And that's actually something that I got from you, because one year we went to DSW. No, it wasn't DSW. It was D&K. You know your daddy's favorite store. We went to D&K, me, you, and Jeremiah.
Okay.
And he was looking at some shoes. And I was like, don't you just want to get these nice, simple shoes right here? Which I knew he didn't. But he's like, I gotta be me. It's like, okay, go ahead and be you. But the thing is, I wasn't trying to change him. I was just as far as me,
Right.
the way you dress and the way you put things together are amazing. But sometimes something simple stands out more to me. So, but in that moment, I was like, this ain't about you because you ain't the one got to wear it.
Right.
You ain't the one that got to look at it.
Right.
And in that moment, it was like, not right in that moment, but I took from that moment.
Right.
You have to be who you are, but that comes with vulnerability.
It does. No, it does. It does. Because a lot of people, because like you said, people around you may not agree with or accept you as who you are.
Right.
You know, and I like that. I mean, the vulnerability, I was wondering where you was going to go with that vulnerability from a man, but it's more so in a connection and intimate side as opposed to a weak side.
Yeah.
Because you're connecting.
Yeah, you connect through, but that's what I'm saying. Until someone is vulnerable with you, there's no true connection.
Right, it's not.
So yeah.
It's not, right. Ficklin.
How are you? I said I was less impressed when a female is very vulgar. I think when a female, it could be anyone, but I will use a female in particular in this instance, is vulgar, that tells you what their first thoughts are, how they think at a higher level, that they have to go, if you would, so low in order to express themselves in that type of way. And when they're vulgar, and that's coming out their mouth, that tells you, one, also that they don't have a care for their surroundings. And I know people who may get upset, and they may express themselves in a more intimate setting. But when you're in public and you're just vulgar like that, that's, to me, is a big turn off, and says you have less respect for yourself and definitely not for others.
Yeah. I want, before you move to the other part, there was a day that I went to Orange Garden with the smoothies. Shabak and I was there, and there was this young lady who worked in there. I've seen her before, and so now Shabak was in there with me, and I was able to let him know, I think she got to look now, and being single, okay, and so she was real friendly, with me, made me smile, and that's one thing I just love is someone a woman who can just genuinely make you smile, the way they are with their own personality, being themselves, it makes you just smile, it makes you laugh or whatever. So she was, and that's a way to me, and she did that, but she probably did it with everybody who was a customer too. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful in the field in customer service. And so,
certainly. So
listen. So I'm like thinking, I'm intrigued for a second, right? By this, and then she ended up, got a phone call or something, and she cursed, and she said something, and it immediately it went out.
Mm-hmm. Just one curse word, and you were done.
No, it's two. But this was my thing. But listen,
okay.
No. At the same time, it could be one. And Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are,
believe them.
The first time. So I felt this way. If she was on her professional job, and if she did that on a professional job, and customers right here, that because like you said, in private, we all may, somebody go somewhere and everything like that. But if you on your professional job, customers right here, and it's like it's surface with you, and so that was an encounter of me being intrigued, and then immediately
turned off.
That's it. So I don't know if you can hear me, Godfather. So was there a time in particular, I don't know if in your younger days, that made you realize you didn't like women who use profanity to that much?
Yeah, what encounter?
Did they complain at you?
Did they curse him out?
Yeah. That's why you don't like it.
Bruise his emotions.
So I think it was probably it's day one for me, right? I won't say one single encounter. I knew early on that was something for me that I did not like. I used to in high school and leading up to high school before I knew of the Lord and his goodness. I was very expressive in my language, if you will.
Okay. All right.
And so I knew once the change was made in me, I saw and could hear how bad it sounded. And so I was not attracted to a female who used that type of language.
That's good.
Okay. How many curse words does the female get before it's a turn off?
Well, again, I think it depends to me on the setting.
Okay.
Right. So if it is an intimate setting, or you and I are here and something upset you outside of me, and you know, it really got on your skin and you express yourself, that's the more personal, intimate setting, right? With a friend, if you would. But when you're in public and you're using that,
we don't get none, like one and done.
Yeah. So I will say, if it's a constant, right?
Right.
Because I do believe now what's in you is going to come out.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
And so with that, you know, everyone doesn't have the same emotional intelligence, if you would, meaning that someone could get upset and they use a curse word and then they come to themselves and that's, you know, they're back, you know. So yeah, I think that to me is okay. But when I think there's a constant of that, that's just truly who you are, right?
You can tell when a person curse, right? You know
that's
when
right.
It's just what they do.
That's right. That's right. When they can put those subject and verbs together really good, yes, that's a lifestyle.
Right. Reinventing the word.
And that's what I was about to say. I think there's a difference in using those words out of a time or two and being vulgar.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen that, and that's why I said for me, I had to, you know, press that she was in a public place and on a professional job,
right?
And it was almost like a didn't care kind of thing, as opposed to like we somewhere together, you know what I'm saying? Or and driving and person whatever you like say, you say something, you know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me, but I understand. I got you. You know what I'm saying? If it help you keep the wheel, you know. You got it out. As opposed to like you don't have anything else, you know. But I would even say with you all queens, I've been with all of y'all in casual settings, you know, and different mood settings, right? And your vernacular is of such that's not what you first go to.
Because we're ladies.
And queens.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it doesn't say that you don't.
And for the recording, Gidron, you did say you were with them in casual settings.
Thank you. So casual settings, meaning that we had fellowships, not just in church, not just with a production, but probably bowling at dinner or something like that. And thank you, Jesus.
Clean it up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It just did not, that enunciation didn't come as clear as I think you wanted it to. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so on you know, because a lot of times people in church all the time or professional settings, and they don't ever have that opportunity to be with to fellowship outside of church or work. And so they don't get a chance to see that person being real.
The amount of time you spend with someone gives enough time for them to show you.
Right, it does, exactly. It's going, yeah. So and you were intrigued. Did you?
I'm intrigued when they are educated and well spoken. And I would say educated, not necessarily in terms of you have all these degrees on your wall, right? But you're educated even in the fact that you're aware of your surroundings, right? You're educated on how to be proper. You're educated on how to be poised. And so those things and being well spoken, knowing how to express yourself, even if you're angry, right? Even if in times of turbulence, and you can express yourself and you're well spoken.
So what was mine? Tell me mine again, please. I said several things.
Really? When they were unnecessarily loud.
Right, unnecessarily loud.
I feel attacked. But continue.
Must we check your feet?
Oh yeah, they hurt.
So I have had a couple encounters where I've had an encounter where I was, so directly dealing with it, but I've seen it more frequent than I've had to deal with it directly.
Right.
But I've had an encounter before, and I could not hear the man, but I heard the woman, whatever they call it, at a distance. I could hear her, and he's just calm, cool, whatever. And I'm looking, I couldn't hear. I said, I can't hear nothing he's saying. But she didn't seem to have respect. That's why I say respect, disrespectfully loud, just disrespecting him, herself, and just loud. And so I had that encounter before, and my whole thing is kind of like walk away from it, because I believe from my aspect, you want to get me as a man, can speak for other men. I've heard this from other men, but today we're trying to keep it me focused. That's the good way to get me to walk away. If I feel disrespected and you're loud, I can't even get something in, and I can barely hear you like I want to hear you,
So we can give you one or the other, though.
Neither.
We can give you disrespect or loud, and we still got a chance.
I can't take either one.
Oh.
I can't take, and if it's
I'm just trying to clarify.
And if you're disrespectfully loud,
a double dose.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not and or, it's both and.
Right. And you know what? And let me flip it by saying this, because I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to do that. First of all, I have degraded myself as a man, as a gentleman, as a king, to do that to you. And we can't have anything good if either one of us think we can do that. So I'm like you when you said earlier, both sides.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give that as well. And then the other thing I said was
So real quick, how do you find out that someone, it could be a man or a woman, is of that nature? Like when you first try to date them, because typically you wouldn't, be mad at each other, y'all ain't up that stage and everything.
You're presenting your best self at first.
Right. So people are presenting their best self at first. This is why I tell people, I think it's good to go different places with the individual. You can't sum up everything in one breath. And when I say one breath, I was out of breath.
You was like, you was wondering if you hit it the wrong way. No.
And fairy tale.
His breath was offending you.
Lies.
You said at one time you knew by that breath. No. So they're in a case like that, But as far as you're right, there are people who they come off timid and quiet, some females, and guys do the same thing. Come off all kind of timid and everything, But I believe when you get people in different settings and different times, and like you said, give it some time. And I was always told, check people out on in different seasons, around their friends, around their family, and you're able to get them to be vulnerable, comfortable enough. But see people not only in their highs when things are going well, but how do they handle things when they're not going well?
That's right. That's right. And I agree with that. So speak to us about what intrigues you about the gentleness.
To me, it represents softness. It's okay. As a man, when you go out in the world, you're feeling attacked all the time. You're feeling like you probably sometimes don't mount up. You feel like you got to prove yourself, and it's on the battlefield. And something about the woman, if she's gentle, she gives you a safe place. She gives you a place that you can feel vulnerable and feel that it's okay. Her gentleness becomes that pillow for that king to come to. when he leaves out, comes back from war, you know, and comes back from being attacked, and just being to have that place to be a restoration, you know. That's what a woman's gentleness can do to a man.
Come on, gentle.
There's power in
I said,
femininity.
come on, gentle.
There's what?
Power in femininity.
There is, you know.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, you know, and-
Women have caused wars.
Hey.
no, you know, and
No, I'm serious. I'm
And
glad
cause them to cease. That's right.
exactly, and cause
That's
them to
right.
cease.
They can start them and cause them to cease.
yes, that's why a brother can't go to. He got to be kept before he go to war. He got to be focused on a woman, you know. And so,
And that's
But-
why also as a brother, you have to make sure you choose the right one, because you could be out somewhere and she can start a war. And guess what? You won't have to defend it.
Yep.
and that goes back to the first part of what I was saying, you know, because being going on like that, you create a war with others or yourself, and now you got to deal with it because
But-
it's not always with you. It wasn't always with me.
Right.
I seen, you know, a female black way with somebody else. It was still disrespectful and loud, not just to me. I'm glad you said that because it helped me to realize and remember it wasn't always just at me. And it becomes something that's hard to deal with on a regular. It's like a storm. You don't know when
Right.
it's going to come.
But that's why you should take your time when dating.
Take your time.
Like a lot of people want to rush. They want an instant. It don't matter who the person is, what qualifications they have. They just want the relationship. They want the mate.
Right.
And they don't take the time to see if this mate actually stacks up to what they want or need.
Right. You know, and I understand that you want to fill that void. You've been waiting a long time, you know, it's you've seen everybody else going on dates or something and people doing things and you feeling left out and Lord, please don't let another Valentine's come by and I don't have a Valentine, whatever. So then people start saying, huh?
They're just going along with you.
People start calling this something else or family time and I don't know, whatever, you know, gal time and whatever, because they're trying to look at the cup, half full, or they're trying to turn a lemon into lemonade and look at the situation differently. And you're doing that to help yourself because you've been going so long without having someone, you know. That's another, I used to always say I couldn't do distant relationships or whatever because when I want to go somewhere, you way somewhere else, you know, and I got to wait 4 months to see you.
Right. Now, I don't know if you want to take this conversation here, but that's why I think it's so important to rebuild the relationship between man and woman, because nowadays we only look at it as being intimate.
No,
Like,
right.
It's so many people that feel like I only am validated if it's someone that I can be intimate with in a romantic sense versus friendship. Friendship is very valuable.
Yeah, so
male, whether it's male, female, male, female. When you have those connections with people, it makes those things like those dates and that stuff seem less like they're not important. Because the only reason you're looking for that is because when you have a mate, that person is kind of obligated to be that person for you. You know what I mean? So when in the world we live in, we're so afraid to connect to people. And so when we're so afraid to connect to people, but human nature is to connect. So when we're in this world and you're like, I want to connect to somebody, or I want connections, I want to feel like I'm there, I belong, but you're afraid or you don't trust. Like with women, a lot of women say, I don't have female friends. But that's because you're afraid that that female is in competition with you or that that female is a opponent of yours versus looking at it like we're sisters. We are in this together. You know what I mean? And when it comes to the male woman perspective, it's a man can't talk to a woman without the woman thinking he's trying to get at her. A female can't smile with the guy thinking she's flirting. And it's like, why can't there just be a genuine friendship or genuine connections between the people? It doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be, but just like the way we are, you know what I mean? In this group, in this group, the way it is, it doesn't have to, it's not romantic. It's no intimacy, but there's no pressure here to make it something it's not. But we all enjoy each other's company. We all have a good time when we're together. And there's never, for me, because of the way I choose to live my life, which is to enjoy the company that I have instead of looking for somebody else. You know what I mean? The company, some other company. Valentine's Day comes around, holidays come. Well, granted, I have 3 kids too, so that's another different type of, but either way. But these holidays come around and they're not pressured to me. But they never were. I guess growing up, my parents never, I watched my parents growing up and it was never like pressured on us that you need a partner, a relationship, romantic partnership to fulfill you.
Right.
You are whole within yourself. Like we were raised to know that we were whole within ourselves.
Right.
And we had our family. Like we did everything as a unit. So we had that, I guess, that connection side of it fulfilled for us. So we didn't go out seeking it.
Right.
So you said earlier
It started at home.
Yeah, definitely.
So you said earlier that, you know, as far as y'all bond, you know, friendship based off, you know, it's gender involved, but it's nothing else beyond just a friendship.
Right.
So I know Steve Harvey has said some time ago, but the interview that came up recently, that he does not have female friends. He's, you know, married, whatever, but he does not have female friends, and him himself does not want to put himself in a position that could, you know, ruin his marriage or whatever. And it sparked a conversation on the internet that men and women can't really be friends because a man is always trying to pursue a woman, even if it's just a friend. It may have been a friend zone or, you know, something of that nature. So y'all feel as if men and women can just be friends?
Yes.
So you can like someone and you could want to pursue someone and still respect the boundaries. Like, it's no, if a male and a female are friendly, there may be some attraction there. Like it just may be. But just because the attraction is there does not mean you have to act on it. That's when self-discipline comes into play.
That's a perspective.
Yeah.
It's always been both sides. It's always been either if a man is going to be friends with the woman, he can't be attracted to her. Or, okay.
No,
I don't agree with that.
I honestly believe that when it comes to opposite sex friendships, that there is some level of attraction there.
Right.
But just being attracted to someone does not mean you're intimate with them. Hey, everything you see that you like, you don't need.
That's true.
And you don't want it.
So
You just can appreciate, like you can appreciate someone and say, that's a nice looking person, or this person has a nice personality, or that's why it's a lot of times people are friends and they're like, I need to find somebody like you. I don't necessarily want you, but I can see the value and appreciate what's in you.
Right.
I think to your point, Quisha, is that every relationship or every attraction does not have to be a romantic attraction.
Right.
When you're talking about the friends or even the friendship there in that room, right? You're attracted to some attribute of that person.
Right.
That's what makes you all gel and enjoy each other's company.
Right.
Does not have to be romantic attraction. And I think so often we confuse those. And so that's when people that could be the best of friends and friendships for lifetime, right, falls out because they go to automatically the romantic attraction. Oh, I like that thing about them. That must mean we're supposed to be together. And I think that is what damages relationships.
So do you continue this friendship, like even once you're in a relationship? So if you get married and you have guy friends, do you continue that?
Again, it's about the respecting of the boundaries. One, there's boundaries always in place, but 2, if I get married and someone is my friend, my husband will know that friend. So therefore it'll be a respect between them and a respect between me and that friend, because in the essence of it, the relationship between me and that friend will change because I'm married. But the love that we have for each other and the friendship that we built doesn't go anywhere. You don't get as much time because I'm over here. You don't have as much access to me because my access belongs to my husband.
So do you trust your man to do the same though?
With female friends, I would listen. The craziest thing to me is to be with someone you don't trust.
That's right.
Right.
If I have to not trust you, or if something comes up to where I don't trust you and we can't talk about it and get to the bottom of it, there is no need for me to be there. Like for me, and as a woman, I have come to understand a lot of times we may take a signal from a guy the wrong way, meaning they could be mad about any old thing in the world, but the way they deal with it is silence or distancing themselves or, going into retrospect, whatever it is, they might want to go hang out. But if that was not your normal day to day, soon as you make that change because something happened, okay, what's wrong? What's going on here? And the truth of the matter is I've learned through my relationships with certain people that sometimes you have to, even though I like to call it the crazy, but I don't want y'all putting that on women and say, well, a woman said it.
Right.
But when those thoughts come, Ficklin, why you laughing over there? When those thoughts come to a woman's head, it's her responsibility to control those until she's able to get to the bottom of where it's coming from. So, like for instance, if I feel it is the woman's job to control the thoughts and the feelings that she's having until she gets to the bottom of what's causing it. Because if you, like, okay, I'll give a personal example. Someone that I know, they lost their job, right? They lost their job. They had just moved, whole lot of stuff going on, but they did not communicate that with me. So although I knew this person's character, I was like, okay, this is not their norm, but I had nothing to go off of to determine that it was something else. So what I did was I gave that person the space. In my head, I was thinking everything under the sun, but I gave them, when we did communicate, all I would say was, I don't know what's going on, but this isn't your norm.
That's good.
And because I handled it that way, and because with that person, I handle most situations that way, eventually they were like, this is what happened. I didn't want to tell you. I was embarrassed or I felt some type of way. You didn't need to know that, whatever. But because I give them that space to work through it, when it comes back up, or when I do get to the point of where I want to ask directly, we can have an open, honest conversation.
Okay, so I want to come to you because you've been amening over here, but I want to elaborate to this, and I want to hear. That's why we're having this talk, and want to hear from y'all. I am more apt to communicate and to open up and be vulnerable when I don't feel like you are attacking me based on assumptions, or like you don't even know everything, so you're better. And that approach there shows me you are respecting me, you're not assuming, and to even say, I know you, it seems like something is different, something is off. And I just that kind of approach is so, that's so important. It's so essential to communicating and getting back, because really you want a good response, but you want them to respond back, when they communicate back. So you can't come like this and expecting them to come, a certain way. But that way of responding or asking the question or, bringing up that conversation gives me as a guy, and others I know have made mention, a better kind of atmosphere to come into. A lot of guys have said, we need to talk. When you hear a woman say, we need to talk, I need to talk to you, and it's coming in, it's because already coming from an attack standpoint. And I think that when a woman, anybody really, this is anybody, but when a female can think about, you said this, can think about saying it, preparing it in a way that would be acceptable and show itself respectful to the guy that you are dealing with. The Bible says, in all you're getting, to get an understanding. Don't get the understanding about the person you're dealing with and don't walk in what you understand about them. I understand about this person that I can't come to them this way. So don't understand that and still keep,
Right.
And so that's all good. What you was amening over here, what, elaborate?
Yes, I agree with what she said. I'm not one that likes drama. I like to talk. If we disagree to disagree. Like my girlfriends, when we disagree about something, we disagree, we talk. Nobody's getting all hot-headed. And I feel I want to be like that with a man, you know?
Mhm.
So we just disagree, no arguing, nobody have to yell. Only time I'm yelling is when I'm laughing or something. you know?
Right.
And I agree with that. I like that. Let's talk.
Right.
And I'm a thinker, so I'm think a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But I need to ask, just because I'll ask some questions,
Yes,
right, Pastor?
yes,
Hey, glory. I
yes,
will ask some.
yes,
I'll
yes.
ask some questions.
Yes.
But yeah, I
But
like peace.
yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I like that. I would rather you ask, but ask
Yeah.
without assuming.
Yeah, just
There's a
coming
way
at
to
you.
ask.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Some people ask
Yeah.
assuming, and you can hear it.
Mhm.
But if you're asking, you're not over there with all this going on in your head.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Because now I can trust that whatever's on your mind, you're asking me.
Mhm.
That you're not over there getting all bothered and bitter, And so that's a good thing. But you said something that she said earlier, and we was talking about, and Ficklin made mention of, and that what you have with girls,
Mhm.
that you would like that also with a man. And that's when first what you want in relationships is usually by what you have with your friendships.
All your relationships, all your connections.
All your relationships, right? Good, all your relationships. And so, and that's why, Oprah has a book out now. A lot of times when we see things going on in society, or we, in the world or whatever, in our families, a lot of times, especially in school, we're like, what's wrong with you? What's the matter? What's wrong with you? The book is entitled, What Happened to You? You see what I'm saying? Because everybody is a product of what happened to them.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of times we don't want to know, or we don't ask the question or seek for what happened to them or what happened to you, and come from a more empathetic place that something happened there, And so anything you want to elaborate?
Well, you all were discussing, you specifically said the approach. And, I was raised a little bit different in regard that I don't let anyone's behavior dictate how I respond to it. So your approach can be rude.
Mhm.
Your approach can be off-putting. Your approach can even be condescending. It's not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of you and your lack of emotional stability. And so,
I'm gonna give you what you
I just give, and in giving,
think she lives in her vulnerability.
I do. I live in my vulnerability. There are things that I
love that.
don't like.
Yeah.
There's things that I love. There are things that make me uneasy. Yet I'm always aware of who I am and how I present myself. And so no matter how you approach me, that's not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm good on that.
You can be a fool if you want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not a fool. I'm not bothered.
Matter of fact, I am unbothered.
Yes.
Because I'm perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
And I'm very, very comfortable in the skin that I'm in.
Let me give you a hand, applaud you for taking time and say thank you for watching another episode of BBV TV. Listen, I need you to do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe. You hear it everywhere all the time. We need you to stop right now. Like, share, and subscribe. There's somebody out there who will be the better when you share this with them. All right? And I hope that it's been a blessing to you. Like, share, and subscribe. Go have a good day, and remember to always be light.